All right, let's get into the core ideas from Brianna Wiest's work, but I need to be super clear about something right from the start. This isn't about feeling good. Not at all. This is about getting real.
So just forget everything you think you know about self-help. Seriously, this isn't a list of feel-good affirmations or cute little life hacks. Nope, the book we're breaking down today, it's a mirror. And its only job is to force a confrontation with the one person who's really holding you back. And that person is you. So let's just start with the biggest question of all, shall we? Why do you actively, consistently, and yeah, sometimes even brilliantly destroy the very happiness you swear you want? And look, that's not a rhetorical question. It's the diagnosis. And that question, it leads us right to the core idea here. You see, the mountain you think you have to climb, that giant obstacle blocking you from the life you want, it's not some outside force. It isn't your job, it's not your partner, it's not even your past. The mountain is you. The author Brianna Wiest puts it so plainly, there is nothing holding you back in life more than yourself. But let's be really, really clear here. This isn't about blame. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about finding where the problem actually is so you can finally do something about it. Okay, so we've got to redefine a key term here, self-sabotage. Most of us think it's just, self-hatred or a lack of willpower, but it's way more intelligent than that. It's actually a highly sophisticated strategy. It's your subconscious trying to get a really deep, unfulfilled need met in the only way it knows how, even if that way ends up being totally destructive. So let's see how this actually plays out. You might blow up a perfectly good relationship, not because you don't want love, but because your subconscious is terrified of being left alone, so it ends things first. Or maybe you avoid that big promotion at work, not because you're lazy, but because you're protecting a secret desire to maybe just create art without all that pressure. See, every single one of these acts of sabotage is just a twisted way of trying to cope with something much deeper. Okay, and this leads us to a really uncomfortable truth. We all say we want to escape our suffering, right? We want joy, we want peace. But have you ever stopped to wonder why we seem to consistently choose the suffering instead? Because here's the deal. We are not wired for happiness. We are wired for familiarity. You think you're out there chasing joy, but your subconscious, it's just chasing what it knows. And for a lot of us, what's most familiar is a constant low-grade state of stress, anxiety, and yeah, even pain. I mean, think about it. Your brain's main job isn't to make you happy. Its main job is to keep you safe. And safe means known and predictable. From a survival standpoint, anything unknown is a potential threat. That's your amygdala, the brain's little alarm system going off. And here's the crazy part. Even a positive change, if it's unfamiliar, can set off that same alarm. This gets us to something called the upper limit problem. The idea is that we all have this subconscious thermostat for how much joy, success, and love we can handle. And when things get too good, when you go past that setting, an internal alarm goes off. And what do? You unconsciously create a problem. You'll start a fight, you'll miss a deadline, you'll suddenly get sick, anything to drag yourself back down to that familiar, comfortable level of feeling just okay or even kind of miserable. And that's the real question you have to ask yourself, isn't it? The suffering you're in right now, yeah, it might be awful, but it's your awful. It's familiar. It's predictable. But that happiness you say you want, that's completely unknown territory. And to your subconscious mind, that is way, way more terrifying. This addiction to what's familiar is so incredibly powerful that we build an entire fortress to protect it. We literally build a prison, and we call it our identity. And that phrase, the one, "This is just who I am," that's not a statement of fact. That's the sound of the lock clicking shut on your cell door. And this prison, it's not built overnight. It starts with stuff from the outside, what your parents, your friends, what society told you about yourself. Then you take that stuff inside and you form a belief, a story, like, oh, I'm the anxious one in the family, or I'm just not good with money. Then your brain does this sneaky thing called confirmation bias. It starts looking for any evidence to prove that story is true, and it ignores everything that proves it's false. And before you know it, that story isn't just a story anymore. It is you. Okay, let's use a real-world example. Maybe, deep down, you picked up this belief that successful people are,
arrogant or lonely or just not likable. Maybe you grow up hearing your family criticize people with money.
So what's the behavior that follows? Well, you have this absolutely brilliant idea that could be a huge success, but you find 1,000,001 reasons not to work on it. You get distracted. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You wait until the whole opportunity just slips away. And listen, that's not laziness. That's your brain acting in perfect logical alignment with its core belief. Success will make me unlikable. That connection, it is not a coincidence. Your behavior is perfectly, brilliantly designed to protect that identity. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, live and in action. You're just proving to yourself over and over again that you're not one of those successful people.
Now, to protect these identities, to avoid the absolute terror of real change, we do this, it's like a psychological magic trick. We fixate on these small, manageable, safe fears to distract ourselves from the massive, terrifying fears we are really running away from. Just look at the difference here. You might obsess over a fear of flying, right? Which is statistically super safe. But why? Because that fear is a convenient, safe box to put the much scarier terror of actually moving your life forward. That fear of public speaking, it's often just a decoy for the much deeper fear of being truly seen by other people. These little anxieties, they're just really, really clever distractions. And oh, one of the most popular decoys of all, busyness. Being constantly busy is not a badge of honor. It's not a sign of importance. It is an anesthetic. It's a brilliant strategy to keep your mind so filled with pointless little tasks that you never have to face one single quiet moment and ask the terrifying question, what is really wrong here? And all of this, it brings us to the final and honestly the most important part of this whole confrontation. If you genuinely, truly want to change, you have to understand something, and you have to understand it very, very clearly. Your new life has a price. The book is brutally direct about it. It says, your new life is going to cost you your old one. There is no version of this story where you become the person you want to be and get to keep everything from your old life. Transformation isn't adding new stuff on. It's a total replacement. So what's the cost exactly? Well, your comfort zone, gone. Your old sense of who you were and where you were going, gone. Some of your relationships, even some friends, they will not survive the new you. And that deep need to be liked and understood by everyone, it's going to have to die. And look, this isn't a maybe. This is the price of admission.
But, and this is so important, here's the crucial way to reframe this. You are not losing parts of yourself. You are shedding an old skin. Everything that you're going to lose, it was all built for a version of you that just doesn't exist anymore. Think of it like a funeral for a past self. It's sad, sure, but it is absolutely necessary.
So the mountain is no longer a mystery. You're standing right at the bottom, and you can see it clearly for what it is. It's you. The choice you have to make now is simple, but it is not easy. Are you going to begin the terrifying but liberating climb? Or are you going to turn back to the only home you've ever really known, the familiar comfort of your own pain? The choice is yours.